It go in the chat. I don't see it.
In the chat in roll 20.
Oh, I got you.
Oh.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, and Brian, while you're setting that up, what did you think when I got your boy to sing a song about Toby during your game?
That was good. Very funny. Yeah, I'm glad you dropped by and checked out the other stream. It's pretty good.
No, I dug it. I really did. I really liked the voice changer. I thought that worked really well for the game. I'm looking forward to see how that plays out in our particular game. So I'm sure you're probably going to talk about that here in a minute. But if you didn't see the stream, I thought that was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back. Once again, we are here with our intrepid band of adventurers as they go through the Princess of Celene homebrew original content campaign. I am your Dungeon Master, Brian, and this evening we are joined by such an illustrious group of individuals, and I'm going to have them start off probably top left of our camera there, and I believe that's going to be, I think it's Grenna. You want to give us a introduction there, Grenna?
Hi. I don't know. What do you want to know?
I think you're muted.
No, we can hear.
Okay. Nothing. Squirrel.
Hey guys. My name's Melinda. I play Grinna Babbleboots, a gnome who is very confused as to why she's in an army. Because you can't be that great of an army if they have gnomes in it. Just saying.
I'm Toby Tupkin, mayor of Funky Town, and I'm playing a Kender in this world who's equally as confused as her because we're all the Kender, and who put all these gnomes here? Over to Russ.
I'm playing Jarngrimr Tolfarmathur Haldursson, who is a
He's in type.
Yes, that too. Who is a male wizard, human, one each, formerly sea captain. Right, Pat?
Arr.
I think the doctors could give me some.
Over to you, Bjorn.
Well, I am Timble Snivenblaven. I am a gnome. I am an artist. And I'm with these people.
What is it?
A Kender, not a gnome.
I know what these people do.
I'm Pav, and I'm playing Kel Zelenin, a paladin, Feronius. Also, apparently, I'm a captain in the 6th Regiment of the Bissell Army or something like that? I made a note.
The animals.
All right. I'm Mike. I'm playing Kiffy Blackhammer. I'm a dwarven cleric of Fortubo and an emissary from the Lortmill Mountains to Bissell.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, guys and gals, for doing that for me. Okay, so trying something a little different today. I'm no longer using these. I was able to square away myself with a pair of Raycons. Yay, I got some Raycons, so now I can wear hats again.
Voice.
Nice.
I don't find that they have any problem with wearing hats.
I like the hats. Matter of fact, I have a ton of hats here. And one of them is called the Hat of Shame. That my son bought me. And it's terrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's a baseball cap. It's pink in color, and it says "drunk slut" on the front of it.
And your son bought this for you.
Yeah. He's kind of a he's mine, definitely. And
He's editor.
Yeah, is there a story behind that hat?
well, when I first started streaming, we used to have you have channel points that people can. If they watch the stream for so long, they get channel points. It's like a reward. Then they can take these channel points and if they spend them, they'll say, you put on a hat, or you have to like do some sort of thing on the stream, or you have to say stuff or whatever. It's more or less just, it's like you're encouraging audience participation. Well, for 50,000 Cinda is what they're called. You can, if you spend 50,000, you will get to see me wear the hat of shame. So, everybody who's been watching my stream for probably the last year religiously has well over 50,000 Cinda coins. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm never going to get to wear like a regular hat on my regular stream. So I'm like, well, shit. So if you happen to, probably starting this weekend, you'll probably see if you happen to catch it, or you can catch it later, you'll see the hat of shame. I'm celebrating my 200th follower on Twitch. And by doing so, I had promised one of my friends, who is also one of my moderators. He lives in Sweden. He's a Swede, and he said, for your 200th, you have to do a Sostroming, which I don't know if you're familiar with Sostroming.
Oh, no.
And so I said I agreed to this, which was my son was trying to tell me. He said, no, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe try something a little bit lighter, like Lutefisk. And I was like going, okay, Lutefisk might not be as, I know it's not as bad, because it's kind of weird. But then my buddy just went, no. You already made the promise. You have to do Sostroming, and you have to stream it. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to suffer. So
you need to make sure that that's done out.
Did I what?
Take it outside. Make sure that you take it and stream outside.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't do it in the house. The missus already told me that is a no-go. So, yeah, I can't.
That way the cats can all come in and hang out.
Well, see, that's another thing. I mean, I have a neighborhood full of stray cats, so I might end up
Well, they won't be strays after this, I guarantee you.
No, they won't. So, it's probably going to be the first week of March. I had to order this stuff from Sweden, because you can't get it on Amazon here in the States. I don't think they allow you to ship it. I think it's a lot like haggis. They won't let you do that either to the I think it's illegal or something. I don't know. Haggis is crazy stuff anyway. But, okay. I thought I would share. I think I've gone on long enough. So, let's get into the game. Hopefully everything will work. Folks at home in the stream, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Once again, I'd like to give a big thanks going out to Anna B. Meyer for her beautiful Greyhawk maps. There is a chance that we will be using VoiceMod this evening. I'm not really too sure when, but if you're not familiar with VoiceMod, it is a in real time voice changing software. If you've caught me at last Sunday's D&D stream, you will have heard the Dragon Thumberchard was using the VoiceMod. So give it a check out. You might like it. It's actually pretty inexpensive, and it has tons of options. So make sure to check that out. All right, so the last time, I'm sorry?
I was just going to say, I gave it a look, and I was really impressed with it. I thought it was kind of a neat little app. I was kind of playing with it myself. You knew I would, so I was trying to find a Kender voice. I was just going to use that all night.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I was hoping that, I didn't know if you got the free version or you went and just dove in and spent the, I don't know how much it is now. I mean, I think I got it as like a humble bundle or something for...
Those stray cats maybe came to your home much sooner. If Ed was going to use the Kender voice.
Oh man, this has been awesome. Well, next game I'll buy the program and I'll find a voice as Kender because I was just playing at the free version.
Well, I mean, they have so many different. I'm trying to think of ones that would be useful. Of course, I'm sure there's tons that would work. But also, the nice thing about it is that it has its own soundboard, so that you can get in there and create your own voices. So you can modulate and do all those other things that people do with voices, I guess. All right, so the last time that we left off, you had sort of stumbled upon this very strange-looking building out in the middle of this wide-open steppe. And I know that you all were kicking around, that you were discussing what you were planning on doing. Were you going to investigate or were you going to push on? And I know that was something that you had contemplated. Is it something you would still like to discuss, or have you decided what you would like to do?
We'll give the final vote. Is the way I see it is, I was pro checking out the tower, but the majority, last I checked, was we need to hustle this information back. Is that where we're all at now still? Russ?
Well, we were going to take a rest here, right? Since we've been traveling all night.
There was a debate on a short rest, to which my sister Gnome was all about, well, maybe we crack the door and peek in, which never ends well. I know how this works. But then
it's a door. I'm like a cat. It's always on the wrong side.
Well, out of that, I'm going with whatever the party. So we got some lawful characters. We'll let them hash it out.
Lawful?
I think he's referring to you and me, Mike.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's a good voice. So, yeah, my thought was that we have an army behind us. So we should probably not tarry. But, if we need to stop for a rest, you said it was noon, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so, if we need to stop and rest the horses for a few minutes and have lunch and all that good stuff, that's fine. But I don't think we need to stay here and dick around for hours.
That was my understanding, that we were going to break. The teamster and I were going to look over the wagon and try to do our best to make sure that it's in good working order.
But I left that thing in perfect order.
Yeah, because you didn't touch this one.
Yeah, the other one was wrecked.
There seems to be a common thread.
Yeah, so Kellic is basically the same thoughts. Short rest, check on the horses, make sure they're okay, rub them down, and eat, get some a little bit of sleep, and then move on.
Oh, wow, Mr. Clerky type of guy. If you've got any extra spells, I could use one.
I have one spell. Do you want it before or after the gnomes open the door?
Before, please.
All right.
Wait a minute. Am I included in the gnome category, Mr. Curious Kender?
You're just a little taller.
But
I don't hold that against you.
You're a diminutive elf.
He's an angry elf. Anyway.
Hey, do you know how you make a Kender go woof? Lighter fluid in a match.
All right, there you go, buddy.
What do we get?
I now have no spells.
Did I get 8 back?
Yes.
See, now this puts forward. We've got to heal. He's obviously
Sorry.
our. I mean, do you feel compelled to pray at this juncture because you feel lost without the energy of your divine being running through your veins? And then I can open the door.
Help.
I always feel compelled to pray.
Well, that's because you're just like, oh crap, what was his name? Too legit to quit, dude. That's why we pray. Pray.
MC
Yeah.
Hammer.
MC Hammer.
We don't
MC
have the
Hammer.
time to get real serious about it, though. You know.
Define real
If you want
serious.
to.
I wonder if the dude at Nancy Pelosi's house wore parachute pants when he broke out the hammer. Anyway.
I wonder if they were smoking that day.
I
All
didn't think
right, let's carry on.
I didn't think he was wearing any pants, but okay, well, Alrighty.
That might have been the issue.
Yeah, I think it was too. But anyway.
Moving right along.
Okay, so while everybody is making their preparations or resting or praying or doing those things, so from what I gather, the Kinder and the gnomes are busily breaking into. Yes.
I'm
The
just.
magic user's over here too.
Breaking in is a strong word. We're not breaking in.
Yeah, because is there a lock? There's the first question. If there's no lock, it's not breaking in.
That's right.
No, there actually is there is a locking mechanism, but from what you're able to determine, it is not actually locked.
I'm not with them.
Well, then it's not breaking and entering.
Okay. I
Wait,
see.
In
Are there
my
any-
world, an unlocked door is an open invitation.
Okay.
Are there any small rocks on the ground?
There are small rocks on the ground, yes.
Okay, I pick up a handful. Let's say 5.
Okay.
Is there anything interesting about this door, or is it just like your plain, ordinary door?
What you do notice about this door is it is made of ironwood. It is a very, very sturdy, stout piece of woodworking artistry. It's ornate.
And it's out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Humans
This
are
means
strange.
something.
Okay.
Can we push it, or do we have to move the latch in order to get it to move?
No, actually, all you have to do is just turn the handle on the door and pull it towards you.
Oh, it opens. Ooh, it's an out.
Yes, it opens outward.
Intriguing.
It's OSHA compliant. Not OSHA, but that safety compliant.
Okay. And so
It also makes it easier to run out of the building if something is chasing.
true. So so who's at the door? Okay, so I got 2, 3. I got 3 of you at the door. Okay, cool. So who's opening the door? Cool. Okay, so Granna, what you do is you grasp the handle, you pull it back, and as you do, once the latching mechanism is disengaged, you feel something push against the door. And as it does so, it kind of throws the door back. I need you to make a dexterity check, kind of like a reflex save, if you will.
Ooh. Did it show up on your end? No.
I saw it on D&D Beyond, but it hasn't shown up in Roll20 yet, but that's okay. Just it may pop here in just a minute. It may just be a slowdown. Okay, so yeah, I saw you rolled a 9.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, I need you to make a strength check. So make a strength check.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, even worse. Okay, great. Okay, so.
It's the wall.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a perception. Okay, so.
I would like to see if I can spot them over there messing around.
So you hear Grinna go, "Wah!" like that as the door flies open, and as it does, she's trying to hold on to the handle as best she can, but it doesn't work out too well, and she goes flying. She goes flying about 5 feet and kind of rolls and is like, that groan of being thrown. The other two at the door, I need you to make dexterity saves real quick.
In my world, the end result would be, oh, fuck.
Okay, very good. Okay, that's great. That's a really good roll.
You're rolling for me from now on.
Okay. Do you see it in Roll20? Because I didn't click my character before I rolled it.
Usually you shouldn't have to click on your character before you roll it. It should just go directly from the...
Yeah, it didn't jump over. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
so...
I didn't see it either, so I'm kind of like, uh-oh. What happened, kids?
It said it came up as an 18.
Oh, okay,
That's
perfect.
correct.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys as you see the door go, whoosh and fly, and you hear a propelled Grenna flying through the air, you kind of sidestep as it looks as though some sort of debris, mostly made of stone and wood, comes crashing out of the door into a pile that is... So now it's kind of just sticking out of this door and onto the ground. It looks as though maybe this tower had been much larger and it had collapsed inward. Perception checks for the two who are standing there. Grenna, you're picking yourself up off the ground.
Story of my life.
Okay.
Not today.
Oh. Okay, 12 perception. And let me also kind of roll a d4. Okay, so Grenna, you're actually going to take 4 points of damage for your unceremonious not sticking the landing. Sorry. Okay, so I got a perception of 11 and a perception of 18. Okay, so very, very good.
Actually, I had a perception of 12. I just restarted Roll20 because it seems like I'm out of sync a little bit.
Okay, bud. That's great. No problem. Right. Okay, so, Timble, you ended up with the 18?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, cool. So, as you're kind of looking around through this rubble and everything, you spot what possibly looks to be an extremely large telescope that probably was on a wooden framework, and that is what has actually been a part of the collapse of this structure.
Well, when I rolled my perception, that was well before I wanted to see if I could spot these numbskulls getting into the tower.
Okay.
At which point I would I forget your character's name.
Fun.
And then
Lena.
I would get Kiffy, their attention, and just simply point at the numbskulls as everything comes rolling out. Now the other 18 was Ed with Toby.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, Toby, you were able to. You also noticed this large telescope. It looks to be.
Is it so? The rubble spilled out. So I'm making an assumption that the rubble spilled in on the tower, and now there's a telescope on top of the rubble. Is that kind of how it lays there?
No, the telescope is a part of the rubble field, or the rubble inside of this of this tower. Upon further inspection, you see that there is a partially blocked staircase that goes down into the earth itself.
I rolled a natural 19 with no modifiers in case that's not popping over and roll 20 for an intelligence check.
I saw it pop up in D&D Beyond.
Okay, so do I know what a telescope is? Because this is almost high advanced. And then the other thing I'm thinking is those things are expensive.
This one would be particularly very much so because it is extremely large.
Can you define extremely large? 10 foot? 50 foot?
You're looking at probably... Okay, so you're looking at a refractor, which is probably about 25 feet long. This is a gigantic telescope.
We need to get this and put it in the wagon.
Guys, do you remember when I told you in my world, all the gods, they came out of heaven and they left the holes in the sky? I bet I could look through one of the holes in the sky and see my gods and get back to my world.
Well,
and
I guess we just got to do it, don't we?
Well, and then Toby starts going in, climbing up the rocks towards the telescope.
Okay. Well, the bottom part of the scope is actually buried in the rubble. So you'd actually have to dig out this scope to see exactly what you'd be able to see through it. Of course, it's also high noon, so you really probably wouldn't be able to see much at all. Unless you're actually looking at this, your home star, which would probably be a bad idea.
Well, we always have plenty of finger.
Even if nothing else,
the telescope.
The materials of this are worth something.
Yes, probably the actual the tube itself looks to be quite valuable. You're not really too sure about the glassware or the pot or the lens work, or if there's other equipment that may be buried in the rubble. And of course, you're not also sure where the stairs lead either. There may be more stuff.
So, Kinderman, let's get this thing out of the rubble, get it onto the cart, and then peer down the stairs.
Yeah, I totally understand this thing with my 19 intelligence check. I got this. We can set it up anywhere. Matter of fact, if it's a moving target, we can maybe we can power the sun through it and turn it into a weapon. Yeah, there's some serious thinking going on in my kinder brain. Is it
Troy Rising that man?
Is it hooked down to anything, or is it was on a tripod? How was it mounted inside? Can we tell?
It was mounted to a wooden framework that, from what you can tell, it looks as though there was a sort of like a crank system, but it was like a very large crank system that would rotate it. And on the wooden frame, you can see that there were ropes, frayed ropes, and things like that, which actually helped with the elevation.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm kind of moving rocks around and trying to figure out with my, again, I totally understand this contraption. There should be like a pin. We pull that and we can just lift it out and carry it away. Yeah. I saw that on this thing called TV once.
Yeah. I'm walking over to the scene of the crime over here and saying, hey, fellas, do you remember about the bloodthirsty army behind us and how we really need to not get killed by them?
We don't even see
And how we
them.
have no healing left right now?
Yeah. Kel walks over and kind of notices that Grinna is dusting herself off with some bit of scratches and bruises. Are you okay, Sergeant? What happened here?
Just a normal day in the neighborhood, sir.
It's the normal day in the neighborhood.
So obviously she's taken some injury. I'll go ahead and I'm going to use the last of my lay on hands pool. You get 3 points back. Greta.
Now
All
I'm
right. We officially have
single.
no more healing.
No healing. We are done. It's a
So,
long rest.
what you're telling me is you need a long rest.
No, we need to talk to the
Moving.
teamster and see at which point the horses are refreshed and the cart is ready to go.
So,
I'm looking for the cotter pin.
okay, so it'll probably be about a good solid hour till the cart repairs are finished, and the horses should be in pretty good condition to continue along the journey. So,
An hour.
about an hour.
1 whole hour. Well, I guess I trundle over to the now open, gaping doorway
It's rather
and tap my
angry.
foot. I'm just going to stand there and tap my foot.
Is it open? I thought it closed again.
No,
Oh, did it?
Oh, no, it's open. All the debris is hanging out.
it's
Open with the debris.
yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
debris. Yeah, the debris that's spilled out is actually keeping the door from shutting.
Trimble, are you a nun? Trimble, are you a nun?
I think he's talking to you, Glenn.
Albie.
None.
He's asking.
Are you a nun?
Swinging Richard, not tuck and roll Mary.
Well, I've heard that nuns have no sense of humor.
Well, you see, I was hired to paint a picture. I'm not painting pictures. There's a bunch of an army behind us, and
That's
I've
only
gotta
certain
get back-
definitions of art.
Well, the door was a bust. Let's move on.
the
No,
Margrave's
you were
wife.
busted by the door. Subtle but in positions.
Civilians.
I do believe that the good graces of the Margrave's wife may give us much more money than this.
If I
But are
can't,
you going to get it for us?
Well, she hired me. So,
is that news to us? Or is that something you've relayed
Nah.
before?
he's been talking about it for a while. He's been prattling on.
Oh, I didn't know if that was more out of character or in character.
no, I've said that a couple of times, and
Okay.
I'm sorry you weren't listening.
Now,
Too short. I
okay,
can't hear you from up here.
Oh,
if I can't take it with me, I heft my gold piece. I have 5 gold pieces. I want a painting of myself standing atop of this telescope like a champion. So you can paint me like you do your French women, or you can help me dig it out.
my retainer is 300.
I'm digging.
300.
You sure do value yourself well.
300 gold. Oh my god. All right. I'm gonna dig for an hour. Once the carriage is ready, if we're not out, then I'm gonna give up and go.
Okay. All right, very good. So, what is your primary sort of what you're looking to try to do with this hour of digging?
Get the thing out.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I need you to make at least 3 strength checks.
I'll assist.
There's a good one.
Oh,
I'll
man.
stop.
I guess since I'm a dwarf and digging is happening, I will not be able to help
I am a
myself.
Wow. Okay. Wow. These are really, really good rolls. You guys are doing quite well. And then,
Kiffy
and then,
totally failed.
and then Kiffy falls in and is crushed to
Yeah, but
death
not
by
here for
the.
a
I did, but I
The gigantic
succeeded.
tube.
I don't think it showed up.
Hey, love. Thank you.
That's nice.
No, it's not so great.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Oh
well,
man, this is awesome because my 3 checks, instead of digging and wasting time, I spent it looking at it trying to figure it out. I rolled a 9, 4, and a 3. I can't figure it out. It's lost on me.
Yeah.
But
It's
I'm not
okay.
exhausted.
You're a gnome. How much advantage can you give us?
Well, I'm a kender, just for the record. But
I think I pulled
Kinder, gnome.
Oh, like you don't think I'll hurt you in the kneecap?
well,
Hurt
I
you
like
in
that
the
idea.
kneecap. I love that. Okay.
Oh,
So
I'm going
yeah.
for what I can reach. Gotta be a lady. Can't go
careful
for the
there.
part.
Okay. So as you've been digging through this and throwing these boulders or these building material and stuff out of the door, making really neat little piles and stuff like that, you're finally able to angle this gigantic telescope out of the door.
Take care of it. So we're gonna have to
Hey, Russ, mute.
in the hallway.
Russ, mute. Russ, mute.
Okay.
I thought he was.
They have, it's Melinda.
Yeah.
So they have two mics there. So, Russ, you're loud enough when you yell at your kids, tell Melinda to mute.
It's okay. All right, so yeah, you're able to finally angle the tube of the telescope back through the door and start to pull on it. And it is going to take, actually, it would probably be safer to assume that you're going to have to unhitch a horse to pull this thing out.
I'm an expert with horses.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Once again, you keep using that word. I don't believe it means what you think it means.
He's trying.
Indeed.
In case you can't see it on Roll20 because it's still not linked up, I'll have to figure it up.
I got it. Animal handling? Yep, very good. Yeah, it didn't show up in D20 or Roll20, but it definitely showed up in D&D Beyond, so that's good. All right, so you unhitch one of the horses, or actually probably the horse that you ended up taking with you after you flipped the last cart, and you're able to pull it out. To lift it up, it is going to take pretty much everybody in the teamster to get this thing into the other cart. So, into your only cart. So, that's going to take a little bit more time. Anybody who is in there digging, I would like for you to make perception checks as you finish up.
Oh, what's the radius on this? Can I live in it?
Actually, you could crawl inside of it. A kinder or gnomes would be able to crawl inside of it.
Got it. Okay.
Just a question concerning our young elf lady.
Yes.
How well is she doing?
She is alive. She is stable. But she is
conscious?
not yet. But at least she's not dying.
This telescope, where are we putting it?
On top of the elf, obviously.
Well, no.
Tell her to
My
hold
theory
it.
is, as I'm inside, you can pass her me, and I will pull her in, and then she's protected while we take her.
No.
It's almost like a coffin.
No.
Yeah.
We'll put her on the seat where the teamster sits. Then once we have the telescopes secured in the wagon, we'll put her back in the wagon comfortably.
Strap her to a horse.
Drag her along behind. I don't care.
Move her to the ground. Put your
And for the record, when
booty, and then put her back.
When I was done with the horse, I hand the reins to the paladin and say, "Here, Squire, please tend to this."
Oh, ouch.
Sorry, I ate my dinner.
I know, I caught you.
I kind of looked down at the Toby like, civilians.
You always do.
I'll take the reins. So what do we? Okay, so what? I guess my question is, you've dug something out. Now you're trying to pull it out, right?
No, it's out. We're done.
Okay,
we've got it. We've got it out there.
Oh,
You help us put it in the back of the wagon.
He's
So you
like,
need
oh
someone-
shit.
You need someone with some height and strength to do it for you, right?
Well, there's only 2 humans and a dwarf, so everybody else is kind of not very helpful in the lifting department.
I'm extremely helpful. I tell you how to do it.
All right. Brian, do I need to roll anything to help them move this thing to the wagon?
Yeah, anybody who is actually trying to help humans, dwarf, you can roll strength checks with advantage. And then we'll get to the perception checks.
Okay.
We break it.
Awesome.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So after a little bit of maneuvering and moving things around inside the cart, you were able to securely get it into the back of the cart and fasten it down using ropes. And then you're able to reload the cart with whatever else you had. And you can once again also safely move Melda back into the cart if you wish. The perception checks. So those people who are standing around helping dig out this thing. As you were digging it out, more and more, you were also freeing up the stone staircase that goes down into the lower levels of this building. I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm oblivious. I'm like, I've got a telescope. I've got a telescope. Oh, this is a beautiful telescope. Who else was digging? There we go.
Yeah, I was digging. I got a 23.
Okay.
Ah,
so
damn
it's good.
dwarves.
Duly
So-
noted. We can come back later.
Okay, did you hear me about the rocks?
So what was it? I'm sorry?
Okay. Remember the rocks I picked up?
Yes, yes.
Cantrip light, toss one down.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it bounces and bounces and bounces for a pretty far little stretch until it comes to a landing at the bottom, illuminating just a little bit of, but it looks like it turns into sort of like a tunnel. But it's not like your type of, it's not like cavernous. It's actually hewn from stone. So it's what you would say from a dwarven standpoint, this is definitely not your typical just sort of like, oh, okay, there's a stairs that happens to go down into a subterranean passage. This is actually artisan type of work. Toby, you are inspecting your telescope, and you notice that the objective lens is in really, really good condition.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're missing eyepieces.
Well, let's think about this for a second.
I
Well,
start
as Kel-
slowly going down.
Kel finishes tying this thing to the wagon. I kind of look at everybody and said, "Are we ready to go?"
Yes, please.
Yes,
Where
sir.
did the magic user go?
1 second, I'll be back. I have to utilize the facilities. And I run inside really quick and see if there's any eyepieces laying around. I rolled a 15 on an intelligence, so I do realize they're important.
Unfortunately, you don't spot any eyepieces.
Damn it. All right. Well, maybe I'll get a piece of.
The next
I'll
time we
get a
we
piece.
get combat, I'll give you eyepieces, okay?
Okay. I'll get a piece of hard rock candy. It's
Hey,
not
Keith,
for
you
eating,
might want to look
for
at
looking
this.
through. Kippy might get it.
I do.
All right. Well, there's a lot of materials and something we just got to buy eyepieces. So that's not so bad. And I suspect that the polished glass pieces are probably worth a lot of money in the mirror, so I'm good with that.
Okay.
Oh,
Hopping up into the wagon with the teamster.
Okay.
getting up in the seat. And oops, the horses are moving.
Yes, but
They're
anybody
moving.
notice we're missing somebody?
The elf.
They piled her on the cart.
Yeah, I thought you guys already put her on the cart.
Yeah, she's
I put her back. Okay.
Well, I wasn't necessarily going to assume anything with that.
Well, for the record, Brian, I did DM you a comment, so.
Oh, I see. I do see. So yes, you are actually missing someone.
Two.
That, by the way,
People.
Beyond.
that's actually once we get started. So once we get moving,
So are we do we have everybody on board? Who are we? You know, Kel's definitely going to look to see if everybody's on board and we're going.
Okay.
I'm here.
at the beginning there would be an accurate head count.
Right. Well, unfortunately, you're missing 2 of your companions at this point in time. You're missing Grenna, and you are also missing. I'm trying to think.
Go back on the reins.
I'm trying to remember who everybody is.
Hal.
I'm sorry?
Isn't it Hal? That whole big mouth.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember who Ross is in comparison. Who does Ross play?
He plays the only one that has the tongue twister for a name.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Step away to grab food. Don't stop for me.
That Icelandic train wreck. Mind you, to any of my Icelandic friends, I don't know if I have any. It's okay.
Before we get too involved, I can't get my D&D Beyond to connect with the Roll20.
We can do a workaround with rolling in D&D and Beyond. Princess of Celene thing.
Yeah.
Let's roll there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So Yarn and Grenna are tiptoeing their way down to the bottom of this staircase. And so you go about 25, almost 30 feet down. And you find this landing. And I will go ahead and let me do some doctoring here of my maps for you. And we'll get you guys up and seeing it here in just a second. Hang tight.
And you eat McDonald's?
You're going to get some demerits.
Yeah.
Not the merits. Oh, no. Okay, so let me just move the people who are not here off the screen.
A nice long letter of counseling.
Okay. So,
Those were the pain of my existence.
all right. So at this point in time, I have Grenna and Yarn are at the standing on the staircase here, looking down. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't think you can because I haven't. I did activate it. If you can't see your characters, you may need to zoom out a little bit.
See nothing.
Of course, the other people are not there, so let me know if Yarn and Grenna can see.
Negative. Negative.
Can't see it?
See a black screen. I'm not sure since I'm not in there if I'm supposed to see
It's
Yeah.
saying mapping dragons, establishing roll 120, creating spells, determining. It's being weird.
On Roll20, it's showing up on the stream, Brian, but it's not showing up on Roll20 yet.
Okay.
Well, I see something.
Okay, well, see, you're a human, so you don't actually
Oh,
get
there
night
you go.
vision. You don't get
But I
night
have-
vision. But
But I have
Grenna,
that light.
oh, you do have light. Okay, if you have light, then that's good.
And now I have light on my staff.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you are putting out lights. We're gonna give you 30 on that light. Okay,
Actually,
so
spell
you
is
should be able
20.
to, so you guys should be able to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
My screen is still black. If you've got me a fog of war, I see my character, but I don't see.
Yeah, that's because you're not actually down there. You're up top.
Got it.
Okay. So yeah, unless you decide to come down, you won't be able to see them.
I know they're
Okay.
down there. I don't think I know. I'm more fascinated with my telescope.
Yeah, you're very kind of fixated on
There we go.
your new toy.
I had to reload it.
Oh, cool.
So let me.
So once the wagon stopped, Kel looks around looking for Grinna and the wizard.
Right.
Like, where the hell did he go? So he jumps off the wagon and he kind of, I guess he goes, looks at the house, kind of looks around to see if they've maybe had to go to the bathroom.
Okay. You don't see them outside. You don't see them outside on the grounds or anywhere around.
There's an opening. Obviously, I can see it, right?
Well, yeah, you can walk through the door.
Okay. I walk through the door. I probably have to
Okay.
bend down a little bit. I'm 6'4".
Yeah. So as you do so, you
There should
look,
be a light source
yeah, you
on the
look,
landing.
yeah, you can actually see light emanating from the staircase.
Itself?
No, it's light that is
Okay.
coming back up the stairs from Yarn's staff.
Grinna,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
it's a door. I'm a cat. What did you expect? Aha, I got it fixed.
I guess.
Now I'm showing up here.
Okay. Well, obviously, I have a lantern, but I'm not sure if I have it on me or not like that. We're meant to be going, not exploring right now. We got an army behind us.
Do you see them?
They'll be there tomorrow. The army will still be there tomorrow.
You have like 5 minutes.
I did share a map with you guys earlier. I don't know if you all saw it in Roll20.
And I saw it, and then it went away when I refreshed my browser.
Oh, I can always let you take a look at that again.
Come on, Brenna.
I understand. Yeah, if you want
There we
to
go.
just take a look. Yeah, so if you notice that there is like that green line, that is, if you're looking at the map that I shared, you'll see that, yeah, you'll see that's actually the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so this area right here where the red, that's where you all are at. This red, where the black is, yeah, that's where you're at.
Okay.
What is
so?
what is the scale? What is the scale for that? Are we about 30 miles from the front?
Probably more. Actually, you all are actually much further, I think.
Okay.
Well, it's not even so much the fact they're the front, yes, far, but we also have information we need to get back in regards to the Margrave.
Agreed.
Feeling
But
she might.
we also don't have, our characters don't really have all that much reference. Our last reference since we went off of the road was that we were going cross country and they were behind us at that point that we left. So I think we still think that it's a little more of an
That is true.
imperative to be moving. But is what it is. I did say, or I typed it out there in the that I would be telling the
What
teamster
in
that if he
the
sees
hell?
the enemy to leave, if he sees any of them, and I'll head towards that
Okay.
tower. And
So Kellex, as you're standing in there kind of looking down the staircase, you hear Yarn say, "What in the hell?" And you're like, "Uh-oh. Yeah, Grenna is making her way back up the stairs. You also hear him say, "Hey, what in the hell?" And, yeah.
No, Brian, you gotta say it right.
I'm sorry.
What in the hell?
What in the hell? Yeah. So Yarn, what you actually see, it looks to be a medium-sized tree is shambling its way toward you with these bright yellow eyes, wielding this gigantic club. It's not really gigantic. It's just a really good-sized club. And would you like to make an arcane knowledge check?
Absolutely.
I think it would be wise.
Look,
Let's see how you did. Oh, 26. Wow, that's really, really good.
Thinks you're Dorothy stealing its apples.
Yeah, so you've actually seen these before. Primarily, this one's called a wood. And it's kind of like a cross between a construct and a living plant. It's made of wood, but it's primarily constructed by mages and wizards and sorcerers and stuff. That they would use it to safeguard their homes.
oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
And this one seems pretty, well, it doesn't really show emotion. It just seems like it really wants to reach out and touch you. Violently.
Perfect.
Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun.
am unassing the AO.
Okay.
This adventure is done. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys are fleeing the scene?
Run away! Run away! Short little legs!
Okay. Okay. Well, then I will have you flee the scene and out and to the cart. Okay.
Happy? Let's go.
That was beautiful.
You know, that was one of those, there was nothing there. You know, just check it out. But no, there's this thing. And it wants to hit me with the club. And I don't do clubs.
Okay, so, yeah, you see both him and Grinna hightailing it out of this place pretty quickly. And, yeah. So you're...
So Kello's like, sees them, basically scrambling by me. What was it? What was it?
It was a wood road, and it was not happy.
Then I suggest we leave.
Woodwode. I think I have a woodwode slaying knife in one of my pouches.
Good for you. We can try it later.
I'm not even going there.
As I go back to looking at my telescope.
Okay. So, yes, everyone...
Why are you licking the telescope?
He's licking.
So is everybody getting back in the wagon?
I never got out. I'm so disappointed in you guys.
He's Frenchy. There's a tiger. Never get out of the boat.
So, Calix, as you turn away from the staircase, I need you to make a perception check. Okay.
Yep, hold on. Yeah, come on. All right. Yeah, now.
Yep, I saw it.
No, I hadn't rolled anything yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you did. No, it's Yarn. Yarn did it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, D&D Beyond locked up on me here. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
How
There we go.
dare
Yeah,
wizards?
it's been buggy.
How dare wizards at the cast?
How very dare they?
Okay,
Evidently, they dare a lot.
didn't hear much. Okay.
I saw nothing.
Yeah. Or heard
And I
nothing.
actually rolled the second time.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, yes, you all make your way back over to the cart. You throw yourselves in, and you start to make your way south. And okay. So yeah, the horses are in good condition. The cart has had major minor repairs done to it. As you continue along, Toby is sitting there going through all the little tiny things about his telescope, checking out every little thing that he possibly can, working the knobs to that would have moved the eyepieces to be able to actually focus on distant objects. Seemingly very pleased with his new acquisition.
I seem to remember all of us working its way wagon, putting it in.
Well, he seems to be quite enamored with it to a point where
But
he's not calling it. He's not calling it his precious yet, but you never know. So.
Hey,
So I'm estimating the amount of cloth. Yeah. I'm estimating the amount of cloth to make it a pouch so I can put it in one of my pouches and say it's mine.
Did we actually
Your elevator doesn't go all the way up to.
It's okay. Okay, so yeah, you all continue to bounce your way down the road. Let me actually bring up.
And sorry for me asking, did we ever discuss and decide on a location or where we're going? I know we're going south, but I didn't know which city or town we were planning on heading to.
Okay, so actually, you all were. Let me focus in here on my maps for you, and I will kind of tell you where you're heading to. Okay, so actually, you were heading to the city of True Light. And you're not actually too far off. And I'll share that map with you guys again so that you can. True Light is right here. So you're probably about another day out, another day's travel out from True Light. You guys good?
I look at Iffy and say, Master Dwarf, maybe a good time rest and regain some of your blessings, just in case we come across some wandering, stuff.
Wise words, son of Heronius. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So, I mean, you can find a place in the cart to sort of camp out and do that, and so you can replenish and be ready for whatever may come next. Okay.
How long did we travel in the wagon?
How long have you traveled in the wagon so far?
After we left the tower, before we broke for the night.
Well, it's up to you. How far did you all want to go? Because it was high noon when you got to the tower. It took an hour for you to excavate the telescope. And probably an extra 10 minutes of some sundry going, to use the bathroom, Grinna and Yarn checking out the staircase. Probably, so you're looking at almost like 2:15. Or 1:15. Actually, 1:15, yeah.
My excuse is I'm not from this world, so I don't know what season it is or what the time schedule is for the sun. So are we like a couple hours away from sunset, or?
You're probably about 5 hours off.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
so, yeah, I mean, you could.
After about an hour of them camped, I wake up out of the telescope and crawl out. Do I get a long rest for sleeping in the telescope the entire way?
So
Or
how
short.
many hours are you doing?
6.
6. I would say that would be a long enough. So that would be a long
Okay.
one. Yeah.
I gotcha. I got it.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Neat. Okay.
Well, along the time that we're resting and everything, for the moment, we're heading to True Light. Is our ultimate, I guess, destination Pellic and the Castle of Oversight? Is that the,
Well, I know for Timble, that would probably be the best because with the sketch work and everything that he's done thus far for the painting, that's where the money's at.
okay, that's the Margrave seat, correct?
That's the seat of the Margrave, yeah. So that would definitely be good for you.
So it's good for everyone.
Right, as far as Grenna and Kellex, that would also not be too bad.
I'm
But
sorry, which city were we talking about?
they're talking about Pellic, the capital city of Bissell.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Now, like I said, the other ones, I know that Kiffy, his uncle is in Pellic. He's the captain of the guard there at Castle Oversight. And trying to think of any other sort of tie-ins I could give you guys. Did I cover almost everyone? Yarn.
I had nothing.
Well, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Oh.
Because they're also, you were expecting actual mail from your homeland, letting you know of or trying to gauge the situation that you're in at this current time. They want to know what happened with the battle. And you were, once you were able to send that, you're also receiving mail back and forth from your homeland. So that's kind of important to you as well. I think I covered everybody. Unless you're Toby. And Toby is the loose cannon / wild card. He knows he is a stranger in a strange land.
Well, for me, then I say, which one has the hottest gnomes? Because there are no Kenders around here.
No, there definitely is no Kenders. Hot gnome action here in Bissell. Gnome action. I can't believe I just said that. Well, I guess Pellic might not be a bad place for hot gnome action. We can always check.
Pellic is.
There's a chance that you'll find hot gnomes in Pellic. I can't believe I just said
You been watching Vox Machina lately, Ed?
No, but there was a theory before that show even broke out where I was going to impregnate a gnome in this world and start a half-breed gnome Kender race in Greyhawk. And Russ knew about this, so it's not like I'm making this up now.
It can happen.
Out of that,
Me too.
There are lots of things that Russ knows that Russ never says because he doesn't want to think about them.
so Toby's fumbling in his pouches. Toby's fumbling in his pouches and pulls out a sheet of parchment and says, "For hot gnomes, go to Pellic." I'm like, I want to go here.
Hot gnomes.
I mean,
I don't want to
Okay,
know.
I mean,
Strange little man.
so obviously the end destination is Pellic, right? But
Yeah.
roughly how long would that take us to get there?
Okay, Pellic is a pretty long way. You are looking at least a week's journey. Now,
True Light's the first stop, obviously.
Yeah, True Light is the first stop, and then you'll be able to actually catch the Watchtower Road. The Watchtower Road is actually it's an actual like real well put together road. It's not like just this little, these little side passages and stuff like that. Right now, you guys are not even on a road. You are off road. So, yeah, you guys are off roading it. But once you get to True Light, you can actually catch the Watchtower Road, and that will take you all the way to Pella.
Get a new refresh the horses and maybe a new wagon.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe we can get some better travel arrangements than one horse and a shitty cart.
And maybe get the elf the help she actually needs rather than us fumbling along.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That's
was
not really
wondering
a
about the elf. And,
as
it's
you
in
all
this long rest.
Ed, you ain't right.
Yeah, you ain't right, man.
Okay, so yeah, as you all are pulling into your little breaking point for the evening, you are, like I said, probably only about maybe another 12 hours out from True Light. And, yeah, so if you're going to make camp for the night there, just as you pull the cart to a stop, you see that Melba is awake. She is asking for water and stuff like, because she hasn't really had anything to drink for a while, so she's quite parched. And yeah, but she is awake, and that's a good thing. All right.
Well, let's get her some water.
Okay. Yeah, you all start jumping down from the cart and start going about your way, making some sort of shelter for the evening. The teamster is out walking around picking up any loose like sticks and things like that could be used for a fire. And as the sun sets, it's one of those common sort of early summer, the spring going into summer evenings. At this point in time, you don't really have a lot of moonlight. It's going to be coming up later, but yeah, the stars are just everywhere. I mean, it's just because there's really no other light sources in the area. You have no light pollution whatsoever. And I'm sorry.
I mean, what time of the year? Is it warm?
It's like I said, it's late spring, early summer. So it's like right there at the edge. And so you'll have cool mornings and pretty balmy afternoons and stuff like that. So not too
Does
bad.
everyone agree that we should get a fire started? Get the elf a little more comfortable?
Yep.
Pit fire.
Cool. So
I
yeah,
dig it.
as
So the
you
light
all
can't
are.
be seen from a distance.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good idea. Actually, that's very, very, very smart. You smart people.
Matter of fact, I learned that from the Plains people. Riverwind taught me this technique to bury down in, and I start showing Plains techniques.
For wind.
So yeah, as you all settle in, the teamster and is breaking out some rations and other provisions and stuff like that, some water and stuff like that for everybody, and you all are sort of settling in around this fire, taking in the warmth, sort of laying back and just looking at the stars, and
Point in the telescope, and even though there's no eyepiece, kind of looking through it. Do I see anything?
It's all really, really blurry.
It's awesome. Look at this. See other things.
But to you, you are absolutely fascinated by what you are taking in, and of course, everyone else is just kind of looking at you like you're such an odd thing to them. So they're like, he's so strange, but he's okay.
think there's probably a debate on that last statement, but that's what Toby said, messing with the telescope.
Um,
I guess when we get settled down, Kel's just going to kind of sit next to Elf and, ask how she's doing.
she says, I don't really remember what happened yesterday. Did we get attacked? I remember there were people on the road, but then after that everything goes blurry until now. And she looks around at everybody and she says, everybody's here. This is good, right? But you can see this level of concern on her face that she's missed like 24 hours or, something. It's like when you miss a large chunk of time, how you would react. It's like, this isn't right.
Yeah, so I kind of relate to her, kind of what happened,
Okay.
from the battlefield to when we got ambushed by the wandering soldiers. I do introduce her to everybody.
Okay.
And I think we already have her name, right? And I know it's Melda Emberheart, but I'm not sure if she actually had. Okay, so
Yeah, I think the only person that she really had a chance to chat with last time was Toby.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that she talked in length with Toby a little bit. Trying to think if there was anyone else who actually talked with her. I don't think there was too many others. No. Yeah, so from what you know...
Toby's on the telescope, literally upside down with his butt poking up in the air on the tube, looking through the hole. He looks over and goes, "Hi, Melba, how you doing?"
She says, "I'm sore, but I'm alive. Thank you so much for asking." She reaches over to her pack and starts to go through it, and you can see she's visibly upset immediately, because she said, I've lost my book. She's going through it. I mean, she's literally turning her bag upside down trying to find this. And she said, "Did anyone see my book?"
and was that the book that we had taken from her bag? I know there was a map and some documents. Was that what is that what she's referring to?
No, it was totally different.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, this is like her personal journal or diary, and you can see she's really upset that it has came up missing, and she's kind of trying to think. She says, "At any time did my pack get was it away from me or anything? I can't remember the last day or so."
You were injured.
Yeah.
And, well, any amount of jostling, anything could happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll look in my pack just to see if there's anything in there. And
Toby
he
puts
starts
on
pulling up.
Toby puts on a guilty look and starts patting his packs. He doesn't have it, does he, by accident?
Make a perception check, Toby.
That's never good.
Actually, everybody can make a perception check if you would like.
Oh,
I rolled a 6. I don't have it. Well, not that I can find, but I found this dehydrated octopus. It was kind of cool.
Okay, so yeah, as you all are going through and stuff like that, you're trying to find, and of course no one is finding or is not able to feel this booklet. And you can see that, like I said, she is visibly upset by the loss. But she also, as the evening progresses and you all talk with her, you can see that she's kind of resigned herself to the loss. And she ends up blaming herself. She's like, I know I should have left it at home, but I didn't know when I was going to go home. And
Did everyone go through their packs?
yeah, everybody went through. or patted themselves down.
Did
I
anybody
asked
search
the
the wagon?
Teamster too.
Yeah,
I asked the
yeah,
Teamster to look at his.
yeah, he went through the entire cart, tearing stuff up, looking for it, and even he came up short.
Well, what's so special about this book?
Well, she says, well, it has all of my travels that I've done over the past 25 years are in that book. I have drawn hundreds of pictures of things that I've seen in places I've been. It has the last picture that I actually drew and lightly painted of my father and mother, and it's really what ties me to my Vespe home.
When she said Vespe, is that a race or something tied specifically to Greyhawk, or?
It's a location, actually.
Okay, then I wouldn't recognize it. So
no, yeah, you wouldn't recognize it, but others would. Yeah.
Is that a royal seal on your bow?
It actually, she says, yes, actually it is. How interesting for you to know. I don't believe so. I know my father at one point in time worked for the king and queen of Celene many, many years ago. So,
I've never met a Celene before.
Well, maybe if you're lucky. I personally have never actually been to Celene. I've heard hundreds and countless stories from my father and mother who migrated from there to the Vespi. But everything that I know
May I
is in that
inquire
book.
what brings you to Bissell?
Oh, well, what brought me to Bissell was actually, it wasn't even the war. I wasn't really even too sure what was happening until I was finding myself doing a little bit of wandering in the area. I was getting ready to take a bit of rest. I have a map, and I was heading to Thornwood, getting ready to make a trek to Ebernat, which is a walled city not too far away from Thornwood, just over through the mountains, and I was going to travel through there, and you know, I kind of fancy myself as a world traveler. I like to paint. I like to draw. I like to collect stories and talk with interesting people. You know, matter of fact, if she looks around and says, said I've visited and experienced many races and talked with different peoples, and I'm, as my father would say, I'm a free spirit that just doesn't seem to know when to settle down, unfortunately.
Well, have you ever met somebody from another world? Another race from another world?
She says, I have a feeling that you were not of this world. You are such a strange character. She just chuckles a little bit. She said, now, your world would probably be an interesting place to travel. Of course,
That's
I know.
Great.
I'm sure it is. We'll have to sit down one day and talk about it. Do you draw?
Yeah, I draw, sure.
Then maybe you can draw some of the things that you remember from your homeworld.
Starts looking through his pouch, pulls out the thing that shows, for hot gnomes, go here. No, not that one. Looking for some blank parchment.
Okay. So as
Starts on it right away.
As you are going through your pack further in detail, you find something in the very, very bottom of it.
Is this the point that I guiltily find something in the very, very bottom of it? Or is this the point?
You're shocked at what you don't even pull it out. You're just looking at it going, oh, uh-oh.
For the record, I would be shocked about something. Really? Come on. Let's see. Yeah, well, I'm shocked. So, ooh, crap. Does it feel like a book that might have a royal seal on it or something?
Yeah, it's a pretty thick bound book. A leather cover.
I'll have to get some paper for later, and I leave it inside my pouch.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
So now we're making a campfire?
Oh, the fire's already made. Everybody's just sitting around enjoying talking with Melda. Getting to know her. And she's getting to know you all.
So I'm going to sit there, and while everybody's talking, I'm going to kind of go into a monk-like drunken master trance.
Okay.
And then pick up my pouch and go, oimne, oimne, and try and convince everybody that I'm going to conjure her book. I'm going to try something. I'm going to say, in the world of Kryn, sometimes my people have this special power to pull magic items and things out of their pouches. I'm going to explain it to them, and then I'm going to go into this big trance where it's like Om Nani Padme, and I'm going to try a sleight of hand to pull the book out without them noticing that I already had it.
Okay. So... So as you were doing this, Yarn just sort of flicks a wrist like so, and as it does so, this firebolt shoots out at the ground around Toby.
Oh, for effect. That's great. I'm going to add that to my performance.
Dance!
I rolled a 14 for a performance. Ta-da! Or is it sleight of hand?
I'm almost kind of thinking that this would be because you're trying to deceive these people, everyone around you. I think it would be... Okay, let's do this. Did you do a... let's make it a combination. You do a perception or a deception, and then also do a performance.
Yes. My performance was a 14, and my deception was an 18 because I have a -1.
Okay. Well, while your performance was kind of like, oh, okay, that's weird. People looked at it as more as weird than being impressive.
We have a counter perception.
Yes. Go ahead and do insight checks to see who gets tricked by this, which would be hilarious.
And Brian, at least I'm not a mime this time. Who here remembers me being a mime in character? Oh no, it was bad. It was bad.
It was terrible. Okay. So oh my lord. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, so Matilda got a 6. Matilda is totally like awestruck by your performance and your ability to deceive. But Yarn and Calyx are not. You gentlemen are not so easily deceived by this.
Fireball.
That's like a fireball. Timble seems to be like, yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. And so how do you proceed with this, Toby?
And when I bring it out in a big flourish and I say, Paladine, save us. And I pull it out of and I'm like, look, my gods have answered us. They've helped you on this other world, and I hand her the book.
Okay, so I'm also going to roll for her to see if she falls for this this interesting. Oh yeah, actually she is like amazed by your otherworldly power. It's like,
Pull gold pieces out of ears too.
oh my book. Oh, Toby, you're a wonder.
Some people call it a hero, but that's okay.
Wow. I am.
Too.
You know, hero is a 4-letter word.
So Kel kind of looks at an eyebrow raised at Jarl and Tippy and really, and maybe just realizes, I guess he's getting to know this Kinder well enough to get an understanding of what kind of personality he has, so he just chuckles.
Okay.
She's got her book. Woo! Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you hand her the book. She starts opening this book and showing you things that are inside of it. Just beautiful drawings. A lot of charcoal drawings and things. What's that?
So it's not a spell book.
No. It's not a spell book at all. You are not really too sure if she has magical abilities. She might, but you don't.
Well, she's
you're
an
not.
elf. Most do.
Yeah, I mean they do have some innate, abilities, but you've never seen her actually use any. Of course, you most of the time have only seen her passed out from unbelievable amounts of damage done by
I've had some
either.
of my best relationships that way.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I didn't say it.
Okay, so. Yeah, so she's showing you all things that are in her books, and I mean it's just very fascinating. She tells you about different places that she's been, people that she's met, and she goes on. Yes, the bow was actually a gift given to her by her father, and she has carried it with her ever since she left home. It was kind of like a parting gift. So,
Quite interesting. So her art is really good.
yeah, it's I mean, and if you're comparing it with, of course, nobody here has actually seen Timble's work because he is kind of keeping it. It's a work in progress. You don't show off the art until it's the final project. But,
What a snucker pig.
You're just rifling through his shit. Which is, I want to see it. Yeah, I can see it now. That'd be great. Yeah. So yeah, but from Timble's view on this, he's looking at it and going, "Oh yes, she is quite talented and is able to. Her work with perspective is dead on. Shading is right. Point of view. It's there.
I asked her if she would like some vellum and maybe some paints. I have extra brushes. I have.
She looks so excited at your offer, and she said, "Would you all like, if possible, if we have time, maybe right here in front of the firelight, I could just do a real quick sketch and then use those paints over the next few days to do a painting of you all." You can see she's very excited about the prospect.
Well, Toby's all about getting his portrait done. He goes, "Right now, let's go." And he jumps up on top of the
I think I'm
telescope.
going to go take a walk.
He jumps on top of the telescope. That's great.
It would be an honor, my lady.
She just seems so excited
Take a walk.
about about it, and she thanks Timble. She's like, "Thank you so much Master Timble for offering. And I trust me,
Oh, it's always a joy to come across another artist.
she just gives you all this great smile of gratitude. And she said, and I don't know if I even had a chance to even thank you all so much for saving me from the giants when back on the battlefield. It's my memories are so jogged over the last few, after the last few days. I don't know if I've actually even sat down and thanked any of you for what you've done. And you can
Toby
see
winks. Toby Winkstar says, "You can thank me later."
she kind of said, "Oh, okay, interesting." She kind of looks around a little nervously, trying to see if she can make eye contact with Grenna real quick to just she's got that look on her face of
I think it's time for us to go find a place to lay down. That'll tune it out again.
So,
That is actually, Greta, that's a good idea. We should probably start getting some more rest and setting up watch.
Yep.
Looking at her pictures out of character, or do I need a perception check? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the realism factor here?
realism factor is you're looking at right around, you said from 1 to 8 or 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
1 to 10. You're looking about like an 8.5.
Really?
Yeah, she's very, usually when it comes to, she's really good at detail. There may be a little exaggeration. You've noticed that eyes seem to be a little bit larger than they probably should be, and hands are still giving her a little bit of difficulty, but hands usually do give the artist it takes some work to get hands.
A great deal of study.
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
No, she's an AI.
Yeah, they got like eight fingers on one hand. They all look like snakes.
Really easy to draw.
I love those.
As we're sitting around the fire, I tell her a story about this great ship that sank in my world. And there was this famous artist who really studied hands. And, he was really good. And I've seen his artwork before. So I give her some pointers on how to do hands better.
Okay.
Great.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 3. Yeah, she is interested in what you're saying, but it just seems that your delivery is just doesn't seem to hit the mark, unfortunately.
They're trying too hard.
I'm not DiCaprio.
Stop flirting. Go over there.
Well, Kel's more than happy to take the first watch if everybody else wants to rest. I don't know if Iffy has regained all his spells.
Is that the
Symbols
hand?
showing. Oh.
I'll take first watch since I'm wandering around anyway.
Toby goes to sleep inside the telescope.
Right. I'll take the middle watch.
His new home.
I'll take the last watch.
Good. She and I will sleep in the cart.
Okay.
You guys could sleep outside the cart.
Sleep under the cart. Yeah. Stuff like
I'll
that.
also be up for the last watch.
Okay. So, you all bed down. You keep the fire going. But even eventually through the night, as you take watch, you can feed it if you wish. That's completely up to you. Who is our third watch person?
I think that was Kitty.
Kitty.
Oh, I think it was you. You wanted the next one, right, Kiffy?
Yeah.
And it was me, then I think it was Timble. Was Timble, you want to do the third watch?
I'll take the last.
Okay. So I'm the third watch.
Okay, so whose third watch? Is it Calyx?
Calyx,
Okay,
yep.
right. Okay, so Calyx, you are on your watch, and it is so. There is a light breeze that is blowing through this step that you're on, through this open plains, and you just have this. You have this very, very peaceful feeling that everything's going to be fine. You're as you're sort of just looking around through the darkness, trying to get a sense of where things are, distances and stuff like that in the dark, as the moon, one of the moons of this world has risen, and you can actually get more. You can see a little bit more, being that you're human. It's kind of, everything has that grayish shadow, grayish look to it. Colors are completely muted, and make a perception check.
I've been really bad at those tonight. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, really bad at those. That's my. Yeah, I haven't got anything under a 5. I don't think tonight.
Okay.
Well, that was under a 5.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think. Oh, sorry, I haven't got anything over a 5. Sorry. Meds, remember?
Yeah, it's been a rough night for perception for Calyx. So yeah, you just feel that as you're standing here in the moonlight, sort of thinking about what you've seen over the last few days, your brush with death, that you definitely you're being called to either, you're thinking, what am I supposed to do, Heronius? Am I to take the reins of this? Am I to take a back seat on this? What is it that you need? And as you just kind of search the heavens looking for some sort of answer, you see this meteor streak out of a falling star just brightens briefly above you and goes out. And you're like, no. And it's just majestic and everything. But as it lit up the sky, you see something that you didn't think you would ever see ever. And that brief flash of light illuminated what you can only believe was to be a dragon in flight. That is something that you was not expecting to see on such a beautiful night such as this.
So Calyx, yes, is probably a little starstruck.
Yeah.
Not still trying to take in exactly what he just witnessed.
Yeah, you're trying to follow it and to see where it blocks out the light of stars, and unfortunately, you aren't able to track it too much further.
Do I know which? Do I get a sense of which way it was going?
It was heading north.
So it came from the south. So okay, they went north. All right.
Right.
Did it fly above us, directly above us, or just off to the?
Well, when you were looking up at the falling star, it was kind of like a. Trying to think what would probably be the best way to put this. Maybe a 45-degree angle from the horizon to the north, and you were able to see this falling star. So I shake
myself. So I kind of shake myself out of this. It's still going, right? It obviously it hasn't. It's not interested us.
It is not interested in you in any way, shape, or form. You're probably even thinking that maybe it didn't even see you. Just, because of the distance, you're thinking your little fire below would just be just a pinpoint of light and would not even be a blip on its radar, so to speak.
So based off your description, Brian, is there a chance that the light of the meteor would wake me up because I'm in this tube that's designed to capture light and focus it to a point and kind of pass over and wake me up? And it would be pointing north because we're driving south, so that would be the direction it'd be pointing.
You can go ahead and do a perception with disadvantage, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
Because you're inside of a tube.
If this doesn't work out as a telescope, we can always hollow out and make it into a kinder cannon.
Kinder cannon.
I'm all for that.
Oh, I got a 12.
I love this idea.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
So, obviously Kellix takes that as a sign.
It is a sign, definitely.
And he just, hold on for it. As your will, O Valerius Knight, or the Arch Paladin, and he just kind of just continues on with his watch and thinking more about what he just witnessed and how best to go forward with this.
Okay, good. All right. So, the rest of the evening, the rest of the night passes without any further incident. And the morning, you're able to, of course, wake your relief, and they also go through their shift without any issues. The light from the early morning light starts to push away a faint fog that is sort of risen from the ground here. And you all start to get the horses reattached to the cart and get everything ready for another day's travel towards True Light. Does anybody have any questions or anything about?
Toby crawls out of the tube.
Yep.
2 good nights sleep. How's everybody else doing?
I will.
You're well?
It was good.
The entrance into the telescope that he crawls into?
Yes.
Could you describe that a bit?
Okay, sure. It is the shorter end because you wouldn't be able to climb through the front, the actual, like where the primary lens is.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to climb through the primary lens because it's blocked by the lens. He's actually going through the back end where the eyepieces would go.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where this is a gigantic telescope. It's a biggie. So you're thinking that, and it's kind of tight for him to get into through the eyepiece location, but he can, and then once he gets in, it actually opens up a little bit more.
Okay. During my watch, I'm going to gather up some limbs that I think would make great shims and start cutting shims. Just all I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'll save them for later.
Okay, then.
Hey, no attacking party members. No attacking party members.
I'm not attacking you.
So I guess we start, of course I guess we eat our breakfast. Anybody cook?
I can cook.
I did medicine instead of cooking. Yeah, it was a trade-off there.
Yeah.
Besides, it's your turn.
Rations again.
Good old rations. Well, actually, if you take some time to you could probably find in some of the scrub brush around maybe pheasant eggs and stuff of that nature. If you're looking for something other than trail rations or iron rations or whatever.
Toby rolled an 8, so as he's standing on top of the wagon, he looks around the ground. So I guess we're eating rations today because I can't see shit.
All right, so everybody eat what you want to eat. Let's get on the wagon and get out of Dodge.
Yeah, Melda grabs her pack and her book and everything and packs it up, and she's actually stood up and is stretched, and you could see that now that you get a better kind of, she probably stands close to about probably about 5'9". She's actually pretty tall. She has long blonde hair that comes down to almost about the small of her back, and she has it braided. And she throws the bow and her bag and everything else that she has onto the back and jumps up and takes a seat in the cart. And all right, so you guys, the horses are on the move, and you guys have started making your way once again south towards True Light. The rest of the day goes is pretty basic, except though as you get closer and closer, you start noticing that there is a road not too far away from you, and you can actually see that there are people on the road. But it looks as though they are traveling also to the south towards True Light as well. If you want to make an insight check on this, or perception actually, whichever you choose. Maybe get some insight. Perceptions. Okay, cool.
I got a 12.
Yeah, not bad. 16, that's good.
Yeah, 11.
Okay. I think Kiffy got an 8. Okay. So Kellex got 11. Okay, so Timble, Melinda, Kellex, Grenna.
I have
Okay. So,
I have no insight.
right. Okay, yeah. So you guys are more concerned about other things, but you are looking towards the other Timble, Kellex, Grenna. Yeah, you all are checking out this line of, it looks to be some sort of like a caravan, but as you start to get, it looks as you're getting closer and closer to intersecting, before you get to True Light, you realize that these are refugees that are fleeing from the north. And all manner of different types of carriages and carts. Some are just riding horses. Some are actually just walking. It looks to be pretty. It looks to be in pretty dire straits. So yeah, that's what you're able to.
We're going to use up our resource on all of these people, aren't we?
Well, Toby's been through a global war, and he's seen refugees. You see him kind of tying knots on all of his pouches and making sure they're all tucked away, knowing that they'll steal anything and take anything we got. Toby has no desire to go near the refugees.
So I guess we're going to travel on this road with them, correct?
Well, eventually you're going to
That's to be decided.
Yeah, you're going to actually
See any reason to. Yeah. We ain't got nothing for them.
Yeah, you will eventually intersect with them at True Light, but right now you are still off-road.
All right, cool. Yeah, so they'll get what they need at True Light.
If you pull up the map that he shared earlier, I'm assuming, Brian, this is the northwest southeast road that's running from Daunt to Night Watch that we're seeing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that area right there that I'm sharing
Gotcha.
with you guys. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you're kind of running kind of parallel to it. So yeah, not too bad. Cool.
So the road is slow enough that we would make less speed if we were on it as opposed to staying off road.
Yeah, actually, you guys are making much better speed off road than you are on this on the road that the refugees are on because they're moving much slower. And so you being off road, you're definitely working at a faster pace.
Yeah, Timble, if you remember, that was one of the reasons we decided to exit the road.
No, it was growing, but you never know how how these roads are. But I appreciate our pace, and what a wonderful job the Teamsters.
So, you travel about another hour and a half till you actually can see the walls of True Light. And you can see that there are at least two entrances. One is to the west and the other one is to the east. The one on the west, you notice, is pretty much clogged with refugees and their carts.
East it is.
Yeah, so the east road is not what you would consider like a major roadway. You can see that it has a few people on it, but it's not clogged to a standstill like the West Road is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, are we in True Light yet?
Yeah,
We are in True Light.
Yeah, there's actually a little road that runs to Bandalar, and that's the road that you're seeing as you approach. Okay.
I'm going to start talking to the Teamster if he knows this area. What exactly would
He says,
what kind of what kind of wagon would be best for us to move together at speed? How many horses will we need? Does he know anyone here? Does he have say familial Teamsters that he knows that we could bring in and hire to push quickly to pellet?
Sure.
And keep in mind, it's got to carry the telescope.
I assumed as much.
Okay, so he says, yes, I know several reliable Teamsters in True Light that I could introduce you to. Depending on, how fast do you want to travel? And we can also see if the Watchtower Road is clear. The next large city is Sheja, which is only about another day to the south. You could get fresh horses here. You may want to look at maybe a cart that might be a little bit more handy for this large piece of equipment that you found. The little cart that we have here is probably not going to make it much further.
What kind of team will we need
for
to handle a larger cart like that?
at least 4 horses. Yeah, he says 4 horses would work out very well.
How much would that cost, you think?
Let's see. Let me see. I think once we get into town, I'll reach out to my contacts and we'll see.
See your sources. See who's willing to take a job now to head quickly down and assist with the military.
Yeah, he says yes.
That's what I was going to wonder. Is there a garrison of the military, the Bissell military here?
Oh yeah, there is a garrison at True Light.
I look at Timbo so that I could try to work with whoever's in charge here to see if they would be willing to offer
Please.
some horses and a wagon.
You can always commandeer one. It
Remind
is
me
a
to
time of
my
war.
help.
These people have already
Remind me
enough
we have a
hardship.
counseling session later.
So,
Hardship.
so you make your way to the east entrance, and you are stopped at the gate by a set of guards, of city guards of True Light. They kind of are looking each of you over until they actually get to Calyx and Grenna. Both of them immediately snap to a position of attention and render the salute to Calyx. And he says, "Oh, sir, it's good to see you. How can we be of service for you this morning?"
Eddie, soldier. Wow, haven't said that in a while.
Nice. Yeah. They do as you command and await your orders.
Who's in command of the garrison here?
He says, that would be Captain Timothy Truelight himself.
Where can I find him?
Oh, most likely you're going to be able to find him at the Red Banner Inn. He has headquarters set up there at this time. We've moved most of the soldiers out of the barracks to try to help the refugee crisis.
Understood. Good. Can you just point me in the direction of the Red Banner?
Yeah, he looks over at the other soldier and says, Corporal, do you mind taking, and of course the corporal is like, of course, Sergeant, I'll be happy to do so. And so the corporal leads you into the city proper, and you go about probably 2.5 blocks into the center of town to where you find a freestanding building that has a hanging wooden placard out front that says the Red Banner Inn, and it has like a red flag carried by a knight. And you see people who are coming and going all over the place. There are people who are actually camped out in the city square. From what you can gather, they're refugees. There are soldiers walking around keeping the peace, making sure people are not stealing from each other. You see clerics of different faiths who are going around and trying to feed and clothe and make sure that everyone has something, water, so they do not get dehydrated. The corporal leads you directly to the inn and opens the door for you, once again rendering the salute as you pass.
Return the salute. Thank you, Corporal. You can return to your post.
He gives a quick bow and immediately returns to the gate. You walk in, and this place is chaotic. There are people all over the place. It's nuts. You can see, though, that the innkeeper and his staff are doing their level best to try to make sure people are comfortable. And in the back, you see a tall man wearing the tunic and insignia of Bissell, and you can see by his epaulets on his shoulders match very similar to your own. And you figure that he is obviously Timothy Truelight.
Okay. Who's all coming in? Is everybody coming in, or
Yeah,
are you staying outside?
If's coming in for sure.
I'm going to hang out on the cart and continue checking out all the nuances of the telescope.
They have beer. I'm going in.
Beer. Going.
Okay, so who's going in?
That sounds like all of us besides Toby.
Okay, everybody but Toby's going in. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right.
Is the
And
elf girl going in?
No, she's actually. You see that Melda is reaching into her pack, grabbing like certain things that she has. You can see that there are. It looks to be some sort of interesting stones that she's grabbing from her bag, and so anybody who is watching her, if you want to give like an arcane knowledge check. If you happen to be still kind of like, if you're not, if you went ahead and went in, don't even worry. But if you happen to be that type of person who's kind of just checking her out from the side there, Yarn. So what? Yarn, okay, and Timble. And Matilda. Cool. Oh, okay. So, yeah, as you guys are like walking, as you kind of just pass her by, you see she's taking out these 3 different stones. And you know that by looking at these stones, that these are heal stones. Heal stones are made primarily by clerics. That actually, if someone who has a healing gift will be able to take one of these stones, and all they have to do is just like place it on a body part, and it will actually heal someone for usually it's a very light amount of damage, so like only like a 1d4. They're very weak, but they're really good in a real tight situation. And they usually have more than just 1 charge. They usually have up to 10 charges. They're not as good as a healing wand. Healing wands do unbelievable amounts of, but like for a road traveler, someone who's actually just, trying to get by and so like these healing stones are really kind
Our
of
dwarf
godsends.
cleric doesn't have any.
Hey, Timble, this will be interesting. Correction. This could be useful.
Could be. I am actually going to go up to Melda and ask her if she's going to stay outside, if she could keep an eye on that. And I point towards Sir Hobbit.
She says, I guess I could. I was actually kind
Well,
of
I
hoping
fear
that
for him to perhaps get into mischief.
I understand. I do. I really do understand. But I am also kind of torn by the plight of these people, and I feel that I could be helpful. And you can see that she
I
actually.
think watching him might, in the end, lighten their plight.
She kind of chuckles at that and says, okay, I understand. I can do that. And you see her take her stones and place them back in her bag. You can still see she is looking around, just kind of like, you can see on her face that there is this level of concern that she is definitely showing. But she is also inching closer and closer to the cart and keeping an eye on Toby. The teamster jumps out
Real
of the
quick.
cart and yes?
I sent you a private message when they go inside.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's like, what the hell's he doing now?
What is he up to?
Okay, I've been
You go
sending
in.
Ed private messages all night. He still hadn't replied. I think he's mad at me.
Did you send it in Roll20 or did you send it somewhere else?
Oh, I sent it. I private DM'd you in Discord.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if I can pull that without showing everybody in the chat. That's the thing. Let's see if I can do that.
I can I DM in Roll20?
Yeah,
but
you
they
can
can
do
see
that too.
it. Yeah, but they can see it if it'll go in the chat, so they can look at it and see it later.
I think you can actually designate it so that only I will see it. There is a way to do that. Hold on, I'll tell you how to do it.
You keep doing this. I'll send you a message. Just I'm doing something, so just keep it going with that.
Okay.
Of course he is.
Shut up. Really, you act like I wouldn't be doing some type of
Don't
task.
write anything down.
Okay. So to whisper me, all you have to do is type /W and the name. And then you can whisper me whatever you want.
Got it.
Okay, cool. Hopefully it'll work. That's what it says. Okay, so. So the rest of you walk in. Oh, I was going to tell you about the Teamster. The Teamster jumps down from the wagon seat and starts to make his way through the crowd to what looks to be a building not too very far away. And it is a Teamsters Union building. You can actually see there's it looks like a wagon wheel on the side of it, and it just makes yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ed. Okay, so you see him walk off. You guys walk inside the building, and Kellex, you approach Timothy Truelight, and or Sir Timothy Truelight, and he acknowledges you with a snappy salute, and what are you? And he says,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So and he says, you wouldn't have to be my replacement, would you? He just chuckles and he's like, I can see that you're not. Welcome to True Light.
Our apologies for barging in this like this. I am Captain Zelenan, 6th Regiment, 2nd Company, Bissell. Wondering if you could assist us. We're on our way to Pellic. I have some information I believe our superiors would like to have.
Were we successful?
I kind of briefly go over basically what happened at the front. You know,
Depends on how you define success.
Things were going fine, and until they got, their reserves came in and they drove us back.
So it's not good. He just kind of he just looking around, just trying to, he's like, well, at least there's something. He said,
Sir?
well, thank you, Captain Kellex. It's
Sir?
Yes, how can I help you?
Chin up. Think of the morale of your men. Chin up.
Of course. Thank you.
Like I was saying, we could probably use some fresh horses and a sturdier wagon to get ourselves to Pellic.
He says that I think I can find you. What sort of wagon are you requiring?
We have, as you see, we've picked up some passengers along the way, and one of them has kind of laid claim to, I guess would I know what a telescope is?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
a telescope.
He's like,
but we also need the sturdier wagon for the longer travel.
okay. Well, like I said, I can definitely find you a wagon and can get you horses.
Sir, will there be enough to rotate the horses out, keep them fresh?
Well, most likely. We can. How many horses do you require?
4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
But we can give you 2 in return.
It says, oh, okay. Well, if you're trading in, that's fine. Any horses will do, I suppose.
Actually, we would need 6 to 8.
6 to 8 horses. Oh.
I mean, if that's not possible, we should be able to refresh them
Yeah,
travels.
yeah, he kind of looks at you and says, I could possibly spare 4 at this time. Most likely, if you are able to do with that, once you get to Shasia, once you're in Shasia, you should be able to find more horses. But that's only about another day's ride to the south. If you think you can make it that far with the 4 that I give you. Right
I'm
now,
going to cut.
Mhm.
I'm going to cut the seam on my coat, and
Okay.
I'm going to count out 100 gold pieces, and
Okay.
provide that to him for this and maybe whatever
Okay.
food, stock, anything we can to get back to.
Why do you have 100 gold pieces?
I am a skilled artiste, sir.
Here's
I
your
have never
time.
lied to you.
Captain Truelight looks at you and says, thank you so much, but being that this is a military matter and you are messengers from the front, I don't really see why taking money
You
would be
have an
helpful.
overwhelming number of people streaming into your city.
And this is where we're holding
It's not
them.
as much as you deserve.
Captain, take it as a donation to the cause.
Okay then, fine. He thanks you. He said, "Thank you so much, sir, for your generosity."
And I give Timble a nod.
Okay.
Appreciation.
And he says, "At this point in time, the road between here and Shasia is open. We are holding all refugees here. So if you are in a hurry, and from what it seems to me, whatever news that you bring would probably be good to deliver quickly, at least you know that the Watchtower Road is open and clear." He said, every once in a while you may end up running into patrols, but that's fine. Of course, you don't have to worry about them being enemies. At least they're ours. And he says, but yes, I'll go ahead and make sure that you get those horses and that cart. And he
You may
starts,
want to begin sending as many of the refugees as you can south to Asia, and maybe even onto Play and was this
Galpius?
yeah, however it's,
Yeah.
and then further south,
right.
because you have all of the north coming home.
Well, I kind of figured once we started getting refugees from Thwar and the rest of the people from Shakara and Thornwood, it wouldn't take long for most of the population of the barony of Bandalar to be here as well. This is really just trying to slow down the progression at this point in time until we can get as many people to different locations in the south. We have started to get ready to release some to go to Shasia, but we're making sure that there is readily ample location for them to stay and receive food and the like once they get there. It would just be terrible to send them and not warn the city of Shasia that they were on the way.
If they're not already aware, we'll let Shasia know that expect incoming.
Excellent. So he starts to make his way through the crowd and back out into the street. Are you all following him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So as you step out of the door, you hear Toby, who is standing upon his gigantic telescope, telling everybody who can hear that this is a mighty weapon. And we're able to, and he's going on about special.
No, we need to hear this from Toby. Come on,
Oh,
Toby.
please, Toby, tell us. What are you telling the crowd?
Toby's up there and he's on top there and he says, you know what this town needs? It needs a monorail. No, not a monorail. It needs a weapon, a big weapon, one that'll zap them from way far away. If we can get a special lens for this, it can channel power through this tube and shoot a ray of beam of light and energy and destroy our enemies. And if anybody can find me that special, and I'm kind of describing, it's got to be, in that particular case, it's got to be convex. It's got a convex lens on both sides. It's got to be glass. It's got to be roughly about this big around, finely polished.
Is anyone standing around actually listening to this?
Yeah, actually, there are people who are standing around, actually, like on the edge of their seats, just like going, "Wow!" But of course, you see, yeah, because some of these people are just simple farmers. I mean, they're not like learned individuals who would actually know what a telescope is. While you see, Melda is trying to go around and like say, no, it's not. He doesn't know. He's different. you need to understand. He means well. He really does, but I don't think he knows what he's talking about. And you can see that she's kind of getting frustrated as he's talking over her and going on about this glorious weapon that he is looking to and power with this. Yeah.
It sends one rail of light out, a monorail. It's a monorail. Everybody say it with me. Monorail, monorail. We want a monorail.
So I look at the captain and I said, you think you would ever script that?
You know, he's had this problem ever since he was a little kid. We've just learned to just look at him and shake our heads.
For the record,
He's a special one.
That's it. That's out of character that Russ is talking.
Yeah.
No, that was in character.
So I'm pitching the monorail gun system through this because in my mind I rolled a really crappy intelligence check. I think I can shoot light in through the beam and turn it into a laser, like a dragon, like a lightning dragon. I'm gonna fire this down. It's like a lightning dragon. It's gonna turn into.
Oh, I can't resist. The orifice of the telescope, firebolt.
I think I'm standing on it. So that's an attack on a character. No attacking characters.
Attacking you?
The character attacking the telescope.
It's
Subtle,
a
but
monorail.
distinct different.
It's a monorail.
It's a monorail. Okay, so you're going to shoot a firebolt into the eyepiece.
No, not the eyepiece. Not the eyepiece. The large opening.
In the large opening?
On the edge of it.
Oh, okay, on the edge of it.
Like this.
Okay.
Around the perimeter.
Okay, the opening of it. Okay, so yeah, okay, cool. All right, so you cast this spell, and then people are kind of whoa as they see this flames kind of like encompass the end of the. Do you want to try to do like a sleight of hand to see if you're able to pull that off without most people noticing your?
Oh hell! I'm gonna do this so well.
Okay, let's see how you do.
This will never end well.
Damn, actually not too shabby. Yeah, you're able to do it in such a way that you're, yeah, you got most people who are like, whoa, that's crazy.
This is not a monorail.
It is. See the energy.
This is not a monorail. This is a weapon. See, we shoot fire out of the end of it.
Captain, can I ask for some assistance? Can you get
we could also shoot
break
Kinder.
this crowd up so we can get this wagon and horses exchanged?
Yeah, because now people are like standing up and are like crowding around the wagon, wanting to touch the special magical weapon that Toby is talking about. And it's now getting a little precarious up there as people are starting to clamor to the cart. And you see that there is some concern amongst some of the soldiers who are here because they are right now losing control of the situation.
Let's go.
Well, you know, we have a singer in my world, this powerful bard named Janet Jackson, and she sings this song called Control. And this is what we've got. So I've got control.
Yes, you do. Okay. So
I've got a 0 intelligence modifier. Kiss my butt.
that's what I thought. The loose cannon of Bissell.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so there, it's getting a little crazy. It's getting weird. It's
Teamster, let's get out of here.
Forward.
Unfortunately,
Us.
your Teamster's not here. He's actually across the way.
Well, we don't need him.
And
I
now
can drive the damn thing.
I can
I
drive.
hop up on the
We need drivers.
thing. Whoosh. Ha ha.
okay, so you're running down the crowd to get out of here. Absolutely.
They were told to move.
Out of the way.
I'm walking here.
Okay, I need an animal handling check from Jan.
For some reason, the top row is really bad, and
I'm
the
impressed.
bottom row is really good tonight.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Okay, so people start to make their way, to try to get out of the way of the 2 horses that you have. And as you all jump, I guess everybody else is jumping back onto the wagon as it pushes forward.
Yeah.
As you start to make your way back towards the east gate.
So these are the replacements?
No, you haven't even got those yet.
No, we're not leaving
Oh.
yet. We need to replace
No.
the wagon and horses first.
I'm out of here.
Yarn's like, out of the way, Peck. Yep. No doubt. Oh, Lord.
I'm going to try to jump up and grab the reins.
Okay.
That's a long jump for you.
So,
If you miss, it's gonna hurt.
yeah, let's do a probably like an athletics check. Would probably be the best way to do it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I need you to make a dexterity check now. Please roll high. Please roll high. Please, Lord, roll. Okay, thank God. Okay. So, being that you failed your athletics check so poorly, you fell, and you were able to roll out of the way of the cart's wheel as it was about ready to crush you. As you hear like a kind of a gasp go up from the crowd, you're now laying under the cart.
I'm under the cart
As
it goes over. me.
As it's passing over you.
I'll jump up and yell, "Stop that cart, thieves!"
Oh my Lord. Okay, so you now see some of the soldiers are now trying to make their way to block your exit.
Oh, that's going to be suboptimal.
Yeah, that's gonna be suboptimal. Yeah.
I don't think they know how the laws of physics work. I'm just gonna go out on a limb there.
Well, the horses are not going very fast.
No,
So,
Ultimately, I
because
don't
they're
think you
still
know
trying to
how
make
a
they're still
quiver
trying to make
works.
their what's that?
said I don't think they know how a quiver works.
A quiver works.
I see an elf here with a bow and arrows.
Well, actually, the bow is in the back of the. And she was out trying to calm people down.
Do as I asked.
So
Yeah.
how fast is the cart going?
It's probably going maybe at most 5 miles an hour. It's not going fast.
It's running speed.
Can I dash to catch up to the cart and at least maybe get to one of the horses and pull on their bridle to get them to stop?
Okay.
Why are we trying to stop?
We're not ready to go yet. We haven't swapped out the horses or the wagon yet.
Yes. But with all the attention that Toby Mocklap gave us,
Daft
we need to
Punk.
get this out of here.
Well,
I love it.
not
Brian,
well,
there's
let me
another.
just-
There's a DM to you, Brian, with a 13 on or a 17 on perception while they're arguing this out. Good, guys.
I'm not stopping to argue.
Wait, I got it.
It's a yes or no, Brian. That's okay. I got it.
Hold on, let me. No, it's a no.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm just cheering about the monorail while I'm on top of the telescope.
He's still selling it. He's still selling the pitch. He's up there. He's in his element.
Somebody shut the kinder up.
Which element is that? Potassium? Sodium? Those that react poorly with air?
All right, so I'm dashing to catch up to the horses,
Okay.
to pull on the bridle to get the wagon to stop.
Okay.
I think there's a country song in there somewhere.
There probably is.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, so I need you to make a dexterity check, and I need you to make an animal handling.
If you miss, it's gonna hurt.
It probably will.
And you've been rolling very poorly this evening.
I have, and my dexterity is.
Oh, that's right, you're a paladin.
Yep.
And I thought I was rolling bad tonight.
And you
You
said an
win.
athletics check?
Okay.
Doesn't matter at this point.
Here's what we'll do. Being that you failed your dexterity, make an athletics to see if you at least grab onto the cart. Oh, thank God. Okay, so Calix, you are able to, as you reach out to grab a hold of the bridle of this horse, it just isn't making it. And you end up like catching the side of the cart itself, and you sort of launch yourself into the back of the cart. So now you're in the cart.
Who's driving this? Who's in the front?
Yarn is driving.
And who is,
Toby
and-
is
yeah.
on the telescope, just having a blast. I don't know who else is in the cart. Okay.
is
Greta's
Greta
in
on
the
there as
cart.
well?
No, I think she's chasing it.
Nelda is in the crowd. I think Tiffy was also in the crowd.
I'm just standing in front of the inn right now, completely flummoxed. These above ground people are completely messed up.
Yeah. And then
And I already suspect that there is something seriously wrong with Toby because of this whole spirit business going on. So I am super suspicious now that he is just an agent of chaos and destruction.
Would a 14
What
get
was
me
your-
in the wagon?
What was your first clue?
Greta, I thought you made it into the wagon. But,
I was running after the wagon.
Oh, you were running
Nobody
after
said
the
I
wagon.
was in the wagon. Yeah.
okay, cool.
Would a
Yeah,
14 get me in the wagon or would it hurt?
a 14 will get you in the wagon.
Okay, I'm in the wagon. Woohoo!
Okay.
I'm gonna try to get the kinder down.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to get the reins from Jarl to stop the wagon.
No, we're not stopping. Let's go.
Yes, we are. No, we're stopping.
No,
Oh,
no,
yes,
we're not.
we are.
No.
Yes, we are.
Okay, what do I need to roll to get the kinder?
I think you're gonna have to do a grapple. That's gonna be fun in itself.
Yeah.
No, because a grapple is an attack.
It's an attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
If a grapple is an attack,
I don't want to grapple.
How am
I just want to,
I?
like,
going to respond to an
what do you
attack.
want to do? You want to just push him off the car?
They're talking about Toby.
I just want to get him off.
Get him down. Get him down.
Okay. So, if your intent is to do non-lethal damage,
Right.
that's okay. I understand that, and that's not a bad
Okay.
thing. I can understand you guys doing non-lethal damage to each other. It's different if like Calyx just said, "Screw this! I'm gonna whip out this sword and just start going to town on Toby." That would be bad. I don't want to do that. But yeah, if you're going to use,
But it would be entertaining.
it would be hilarious. I don't know how it would end up, but because Toby's
So how does a grapple work?
wild. Okay, so how does grapple work? Actually, probably the best way I like to use it, and because I know it's different, is that the person who is initiating the grapple will use a strength check versus the dexterity of the person being grappled. If the dexterity is higher, then that person is going to avoid being grappled.
Okay.
If you're okay with that, that's the way I like to do it. So.
I went and looked at that several times and missed.
So yeah, Glenna, if you, Glenna, you can give it a try.
Yeah, 20.
No, let me try again. I didn't do that right. There's
Oh, the plus.
thing in there.
Okay. This is crazy.
There we go.
Oh wow. Okay, 18 is really good. So Toby, I just need you to
Already done on roll 20. I rolled a 19.
Okay. So
Of course you did.
So Grenna, as you go to grapple with him, he spins out of the way. You're on a moving cart. He spins out of the way. Make a dexterity check. As he spins.
Her or me? Her or me?
She needs to make one. Grenna.
Gotcha.
I thought looked you weren't a she.
Oh,
wow.
ouch. Okay.
So instant reaction. Can I, because I'm a monk, can I make an unarmed strike and try and grab her before she falls out?
Yeah, because she's about ready to fall out of the cart.
Right. So I see her go by and I block it, and then I make my unarmed strike attack
Okay.
and roll an 18.
Damn. Okay.
Catching her just as she's about ready to fall out of the cart. She's holding on. I'm like, and I grab her. I say, pulling her. I say, monorail, 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 monorail.
You're not helping.
So yeah, as Grenna, as you go to make this grapple, he spins out of the way. It looks as though you feel that you are falling out of the cart. All of a sudden, this hand reaches out and grabs you and pulls you close, and just
Little baby hand.
This little tiny hand grabs you and pulls you in.
Man with good, strong hands.
It's like the baby hands in Deadpool. Yeah.
That's not right.
Okay.
And then I tell her monorail, monorail, and then I pull her into the cart.
All right, so I try to make my way forward to the front of the cart.
Okay.
Look at y'all. What are you doing? Stop this wagon now.
Driving the wagon. We're getting out of here. He's making a scene. We need to get out of here.
He's just
Yeah.
not right. I
Look
get that.
at the
He's not
people.
Right. He's not right.
No,
but
we're leaving.
he is.
Out of
No,
here.
we're not. No, we're not.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm snatching the reins off of him.
No, you're not.
Okay, then it's gonna be a test of strength.
No,
So
I'm holding the reins
give
down.
me.
Here, watch it. Get out of the damn car.
Okay, so
Waiting for a dex check from you, Russ.
strength check. Because
Strength.
you're
I did a-
actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'm rolling a strength. I think he rolls a dex, right? Nope.
No, because he's also holding on to them because he's trying to use strength to keep them. So he would
No,
also
I'm
use a
throwing
strength check.
them.
You're throwing them?
I'm throwing them. They
Where are
going
you
under the
throwing
cart.
them? Where are you throwing them?
All right, we got the horses in front of us, and there's 2 horses' asses. I'm throwing it between the 2.
Oh my lord. Okay. So Kellex, you
I
watch him
can't have
just
them, neither can you.
you just watch him unceremoniously throw the reins down between the horses, and now they're dragging along between the horses, between the
Under the
crossbar
cart.
there, under the cart.
So
And you're
both
like,
Kellex and I are like, WTF?
Pat, think about it from my point of view.
oh,
You are going to overpower me regardless, unless I can use magic. And
I'm
I'm
still
not going
trying to
do
figure
that.
out why you ran away with the cart anyway.
Did you ask, or did you assume?
Commander Truelight.
All right. I have
Commander
no idea
Truelight.
what I can do next. I mean, unless I try to jump on the back of the horse. You know what? I'm going to jump on the back of the horse, and I'm going to pull it.
There are 2 horses, correct?
okay, so
There are 2 horses, correct?
It doesn't matter. You get a hold of one. It doesn't matter.
you get a hold of one.
And up
It'll be
between them
fine.
is normally a rail.
Okay, so I need you to make an acrobatics check, and then if you land on the horse, you can make an animal handling check.
And I say, Arch Paladin, give me strength. All right. You said in acrobatics?
Acrobatics?
Yeah, there we go. Give me one good roll tonight, please. Yes!
Yes. Okay, thank you. Finally, yes, you've made it to the horse. Now I just need.
I'm not done with my turn yet, Russ. Keep your hand down.
You're on the horse.
And I grab whatever's the harness, and I pull back to stop the wagon going forward.
Okay, you remember those rocks?
Oh no! Oh god, no!
You can't attack me. You can't attack
Be
me.
an attack. That'd be an attack.
Yeah, I'm going to try to hit the horse in the head with a rock.
No! Not helping the situation.
No.
Wait a minute. Where did I say I was helping?
Between you and the kinder. Great!
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you
So-
said I
People
do
think I'm weird.
animal handling, right?
Yeah.
So what would I need to do to complete that action?
I only had 10.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're able to slow the horses down to a point where you could easily just walk next to them. They're still moving forward, but you have almost brought them to a standstill. Okay, Ross, what are you doing?
I'm going to throw my rock.
Okay. Go ahead and make a range
And everybody
attack.
thought I was the chaotic one.
Yeah. I think it's
I think it's going to come down to you and I, Ed, to stop the horses at this rate.
How do I do that?
Okay, it would be a ranged attack because you're throwing, and I believe it's on the character sheet. You should have like a ranged attack.
is he proficient in throwing rocks? That's what I want to know.
Don't actually. Well, let's see.
I mean, he's only a wizard with weaky arms.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's gonna get any. Most likely. Okay, you know what? Yeah.
Would it be similar to like throwing a dagger?
It would be kind of like throwing a dagger, but yeah.
Daggers and rockets are more difficult.
Being that he isn't proficient at throwing things in general, I don't believe you are. You'll have to do it with disadvantage.
Okay, so what do I roll?
It's a d20. I don't think you're gonna have any pluses for ranged. Don't think you will. I'd have to look at your character sheet. Let me see if I can bring it up. Dude, no. You crazy people.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, we're just warming up.
Just warming up, huh? Nice. That's lovely. That's grand.
So you'll be back in 2 weeks, right?
Maybe. Maybe. Yes. Where's the people at?
You want me to do it against an ability score or something?
Okay, hold on. I'm checking your character sheet
Okay.
to see what shenanigans you can get up to. All right. Nice. Okay, cool. I don't think you have. Well, let's see. You have a dexterity bonus of +3, so that is pretty nice. So that would also count, but you don't have any other things that would be of any great use. So yeah. So what I would do is just make a dex check, and let's see how you do. But you have disadvantage, so you have to roll it twice, and you'll take the lowest score. So, roll it one more time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Did it not work? Oh, okay. Okay. So,
Okay,
unfortunately,
didn't hit that horse. Didn't hit the other one.
How many stones are you throwing? All of them?
I got
Are you shotgunning this, or you're just whipping all of them out? Oh, God. Okay, go ahead and do another one for the other horse. Same situation. You insane people. Okay. And one
Now roll
more.
again.
You gotta roll again.
And
Okay,
okay,
you
good.
missed.
Okay, yeah, so you missed both. You missed both. Okay. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so finally you're able to bring the cart to a stop. As you look around, you can see that you can see that Timble is actually standing next to Captain Truelight. Melda is next to him. As everybody is just kind of like watching what is unfolded. You kind of Timble. You hear Truelight. He addresses you and says, "Has it been this chaotic since you left the front?"
Yes, it has. Maybe you should send notice to the gate.
Yeah, I think that might be best.
Thank you, sir.
I think some people might have gotten some traumatic brain injuries. We got beat up pretty bad.
So, yeah.
Monorail.
Monorail. Lord.
Monorail.
Be nice, I'm gonna smack you.
Okay.
All right. So I definitely look at Jarl. Said, I don't know what your intent was, but you're not helping the cause. We need to freshen our horses and our wagon before we leave.
You keep using this
There's
word.
no ifs,
I don't
ands, or
think it
buts
means what
about
you
it.
think it means.
And I leave it at that.
Okay. Well, folks,
Pam, out of character, I still don't know how I got here.
All right, man.
well,
I don't get paid enough for this.
Oh, so maybe it was all those years at sea and all that sun. Okay, that makes more sense.
Maybe you came with me from Kryn. You just don't remember.
well,
No,
actually,
I would never forget something like you.
That's not true. You drink enough, you forget a lot of
You're not thinking
things.
he's Fizzbane, are you?
Pop things.
Well, actually, to be fair, I would more expect you to be Paladine. So don't make me roll another intelligence check to see if I've gone crazy and I start
And
assigning
don't hold
guys.
your breath.
I look at Captain Timothy and I say, please, let's do this quickly so we can get out of here and give you some peace.
He says Kender, but I think
Give him
both work.
peace. What about us?
I got new words.
Well, folks, it's 10 o'clock, and so usually this is about the time that we wrap up. So, folks who joined us in chat this evening, thank you very much for dropping by and hanging out with us and watching all of the interesting things that occurred. Thank you all so much
Lunacy,
again.
the lunacy.
The lunacy, yes, the insanity. Once again, a big thanks goes out to Anna B. Meyer for her beautiful Greyhawk maps. You can find her at annabmeyer.com. We also were using D&D Beyond. At first, it was kind of touch and go this evening. We almost didn't get launched, but it was able to muddle through. We use Beyond 20 as our extension, which helps us communicate with Roll20, our virtual tabletop. Again, thank you all very much for hanging out with us. Catch us again in 2 weeks when we do this again. Every other Thursday, starting around 7 o'clock. Folks, do y'all have anything parting words you want to impart, or are you guys good? Thank you all.
Monorail.
That's the word of the day.
I could see T-shirt Merc there, Ed.
T-shirt.
I'm going to be shopping for a straight jacket.
Brian, thanks. Another great session.
I'm glad you all had a good time. You had me cracking up.
You're muted, Ed.
You're muted, Ed.
Maybe that's for the best.
Ed muted is not a bad thing.
How many times did I say monorail and nobody heard me? Oh my God. Steph's over here like, why the fuck's he keep saying monorail?
You said it like 7 times via lip reading.
Well, I'm doing good.
That's the sad thing, is I actually heard your voice while you were doing it, but you were muted.
Also, another thing, we need to give a shout out to Drunkards and Dragons. I think it's at drunkardsanddragons.com, or is it .net? I can't remember.
.com. It's .com.
Drunkardsanddragons.com. Make sure to drop by over there. You can see the team. You can find out a little bit more about us. You can find also some really interesting articles that are written by, I believe, Ed and some other people, which is really cool. I don't know who submits all the cool little articles, but also
I do most of the articles.
Okay.
Russ does all the writing.
Oh, okay.
Russ does all the painting. Sorry.
He does all the painting. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then I think there's also a Twitch channel, and we'll try to make sure to get that out to everybody. I think it's Drunk Dragons or something like that.
We haven't put anything up there yet. At some point, we're talking about possibly doing some type of session, possibly fueled with content from chat GRPT or GPT. And out of that, what happens is one of the drawbacks is that combat is precluded, but it creates vast amount of detail, which is really blowing my mind with a simple command of where it's at. Give me a description. I'm thinking about doing a moderated dungeon crawl like that for maybe 4 or 5 rooms just to test it.
Oh, nice. Okay, that sounds good.
And that being said, let me throw a jump out there for you. I mean, you have another group that goes every other Sunday as well. And, I happened to watch last week, and I had a lot of fun antagonizing your characters from the chat. So it's definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, my son particularly enjoyed your input.
Which one was he? I'm sorry, I didn't know your son was playing.
Yeah, that's Rob. That's the one.
Rob? Okay.
That's the one who plays. What's his character's name? Oh my gosh. He's actually in 2 different campaigns that I'm running right now. So yeah, he's the. He plays he plays the fighter. And he's a totally off the chain sort of person. So yeah, if you get a chance to check out the Sunday game, yeah, that'll be also in another 2 weeks. So Yeah, this week we're not doing it. Yay. Okay, folks. Thanks again. Y'all have a great night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
See you in a couple
Bye,
weeks.
everybody.